As part of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, we're required every year to run emergency drills. So emergency weather drills are nothing new for us, but rarely do we get a chance to actually go through the actual event that occurred with Helene coming in.
I knew it was going to be bad. I knew the potential for the water rising could be severe, but I felt like up here on the hill we're pretty safe from that level of rise.
I think the biggest fear was we saw a lot of trees come down, and it was pretty devastating. So what does it look like at the Nature Center when you see that going on all around you?
It was a high level of anxiety, but we train all the time for animal escape and stuff like that. Basically, that's what we felt like we may be walking into.
Everybody knew exactly what they needed to do in order to be able to get us as safe as possible.
Chris and I had a plan. We had been communicating prior to, and in the midst of all of that, comms goes down. We lose communication, cell phone with each other. So at some point that day, it goes to, okay, we can't communicate. We have to just stick to the plan.
Our goal was to make sure that all animals were safe and secure.
Tried to get out day of when the rain receded back, and we were completely flooded in. No avenues here.
Swannanoa River Road, it was still underwater, so it was hard to tell what had happened. But when the water started to recede, we realized that all the blacktop and all the roadbed was actually washed away.
Came in early, 6:30, the follow-on morning, and bypassed this area and just went over the hillside and rolled up on the river and couldn't even comprehend really what I was looking at. The level of destruction and decimation was catastrophic. I didn't recognize the place. The landscape was completely changed.
When I came down here and looked at this was the first time I had seen the bridge being out. And to see that it washed 100 feet this way, it's just unbelievable. I couldn't wrap my head around that could possibly have happened.
At first light, we packed up and headed here, and walking through that gate, the most greatest thing I could have seen was Jeremy standing there.
I was first person on grounds, and so our protocol says that we can't walk it by ourselves. We do have dangerous predator animals that, should we have had a breach in an exhibit fence, they could be loose on grounds.
We didn't know what animals might be in, might be out, so we have to prepare for dangerous animal escape.
Joe and I walked the entire property and made sure, and we were very fortunate that none of our exhibit perimeters were breached. We had some damage, we had some trees leaning on fences, but nothing to an extent that animals were able to escape their exhibits. That was nerve-wracking. Each corner posed a new challenge. A new tree was down, a fence was broken here. The deeper we got into the park, the more weight you started to feel of, my goodness, you start to see the destruction and the level that we've never seen here before. It starts to set in on you of, wow, we've got a long road to recovery, and that's just in the first 30 minutes of being here.
There was a lot of pivoting. I mean, not only thinking about electricity, we had to think about water. What are we gonna do for water? We have aquatic animals on site. And so we had to make preparations and have those animals had to be evacuated. We had to get them out to a site, and we partnered with a nonprofit who was kind enough to take those animals until we're ready for them to come back on site.
The deeper we got and the more animals we saw were accounted for and that they're where they're supposed to be, each animal we ticked off our check sheet was one breath of fresh air. And when we finally made it all the way around the park, bear would be the final exhibit, and we see that bear is where they're supposed to be. Predators are accounted for, the public is safe, and our animals are safe. That was complete relief.
Best moment by far was hearing that all the animals were accounted for and we didn't have any significant damage. But even before that, finding out that all our staff and their families were safe.
We set command post here and then wait for our teammates to get here.
The one thing preventing our staff from getting back was the flood. Once the waters receded, our staff was able to get in through Highland Brewery. They actually cut a small little vehicle path for us at the back of their property. We were able to bring in the rest of our animal care team to start taking care of the animals, which is our prime directive.
The city of Asheville, they jumped out immediately. Can't speak good enough for our partners with the city.
That's an incredible asset for us as being part of the city, because we were in touch immediately with emergency response. We knew the situations with the roads right away. Within days, we knew where to get potable water and how to take care of the needs that we have here at the Nature Center. We had access to generators. So everybody in the city really rallied. Anybody that we called was there to help us in any way possible. But we also put out the call to our collective professional organization. And all the zoos that are part of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, many of them reached out to me asking what they could do to help. Within a week, the North Carolina Zoo sent a team of about 15 folks.
They were phenomenal. They showed up and it was like an army rolling into town. They brought supplies, generators, gas, fuel, and they brought help. They brought all of their people with a willingness to show up and get to work. And it made this daunting task that we were looking at with our staff a little more doable.
Soon after that, we heard from other zoos. We heard from the Knoxville Zoo, and they sent a team to do some fence repair for us and some arbor work, taking down some dangerous trees that were still around. Then we also started hearing from other zoos that wanted to send supplies. So we had a team from the Midwest zoos, as far away as Kansas City, Des Moines, Topeka, that sent a team to help us with boardwalk repair. And not only did they send their team, but they sent us all the supplies that we needed as well. We also got a tremendous amount of support from Appalachian Wild, which is a local community organization here in our area that helps rehab animals. And they sent us food, and they sent us animal supplies, and they sent us other things that we needed in order to be able to take care of our basic animal needs.
I'm thankful for everyone that came here, be that North Carolina Zoo, Knoxville Zoo, the zoo out of Rhode Island. We could not have done what we've done in a short period of time without their support and their help.
As prepared as we were, there were things we weren't prepared for. So whenever something like this happens, it always gives us a chance to reflect and then to think of a way to do things better. So it's pretty incredible to think about the help that we got, not just from the city folks and the people in our community, but also from folks all over the country. It shows that when a tragedy like this hits, it's really the love and caring of others that help you get through it. Every day is a learning process, and we only want to make ourselves as good as we possibly can be, as safe as we possibly can be. So I think the silver lining to all this is we know that we're strong enough to get through something as terrifying as this experience was and come out the other side better than we were before.